All right, traders, a very warm welcome. I am Devang Mehra from the Financial Analyst, and today we'll discuss about what should be the strategy and the outlook for the markets on Wednesday, which is 19th May 2021. As I recorded, it's Tuesday, 9:45 in the evening. First of all, thank you all to everyone. I was absent due to my health, and I'm back now. I'm fit and fine. I'm stronger than ever. Thank you so much for the support that you've given me on my social media. Means a lot to have everyone on my side. Let's get started, guys. Let's not waste too much time today. Finally, Nifty is above 15,000. We have been in this falling channel for the past 2.5 months. It has been a pain. We all remember, we all have witnessed what the pain has been in the last 2.5 months. Markets chopping out every single day. We think something's happening, where the next moment something else happens. It was quite a pain actually, and finally we have broken out of this rather boring descending channel, and we'll talk about all of that, what the strategy should be. So if you enjoy the videos, click on the like button, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to comment, TFA family, and let me know what platform you guys are coming from: YouTube, Instagram, Discord, whatever it is. So let's talk about what happened in the markets today, and this will help us to understand what we can expect in the markets coming forward. Today, if you see the markets, especially Nifty, Bank Nifty, they have been in quite a very tight range, and that generally happens when the markets have moved a lot. So let me rewind a little bit. And that's going to help you understand what our stance is now. I want to ask you all to start to come into a buy on dip stance. Earlier, we were in a sell on rise stance. If you remember, we gave you this level of 14,880, and you remember how significant this level was. It never broke. We never got any two closings above that, and we finally got two closings above that. And I've told you very clearly, if you are sustaining for one day above 14,880, that could be a fluke. But if you want to be consistent, if you want concrete statements given by the bulls and the bears, you have to close two times above that. Because you've done it twice, this means that markets really want to change their structure. Number one. Same is the case for Bank Nifty. We gave you a level of 33,181. It has been significant for the last about 1.5 months, and we have finally broken above that level twice. So I would like to change my stance to a buy on dip from a sell on rise. I want to make that very, very clear. It does not mean the markets will rally 500 points every single day or 100 points every single day. We will get dips, but I want you to find reasons to buy those dips. I want to make it very, very clear. Another very interesting point is, if you see this falling trend line, if you have been watching our videos for quite some time, you're aware of these trend lines, these levels. They're all very old now. So today we were finding it very, very hard to close above this, and today we've closed above that. If we start to stay above these levels, it shows how concrete the bulls are, how strong the bulls are. Let me teach you something very, very simple about the markets, and this should require very a basic amount of knowledge. Let's say you are moving in a range. Try to understand this. As long as we are staying in this range, there are both buyers and sellers which are controlling the price, in the sense that whenever the markets come down, every person who is a buyer in this range has a stop loss somewhere in the bottom, and he buys here. And when the market starts to go up, it surges up. When any person who's a seller in the market, he has a stop loss at the top above this range, and when the markets come here or here, they short the rally. As simple as that. So as long as the range continues, which is nothing but the last 2.5 months of pain, you will get buyer seller pressure, unrealistic move on both the sides. Now what happens is, if let's say markets break below this parallel channel, what happens is the persons who were buyers in the market, who were very optimistic about the markets, their stop losses get triggered, and the markets then try to continue down. It does not mean it's going to crash, but you will get maybe some kind of rally, some kind of profit booking by the bears. But again, that rally will be sold into, because every person who was a buyer, his SLs have been triggered. Same is the case of anyone who's a seller. If the markets are breaking out of the range, everyone who was a seller, his SLs are being triggered, which means that now maybe market becomes sideways to bullish. So when the markets are breaking out of range, we expect sideways to bullish momentum, which means that if we get a dip in the market, let's be honest about it. Let's not be very pessimistic about it. Let's try to buy that dip. I hope my analogy is clear. everything is clear what I want to say about the markets now. Today, what happened was yesterday, we got a great run up. This was on 17th May, and absolutely stunning run up that happened. No one probably expected such a big rally. Banks, especially, something personally I was not expecting. We were expecting some movement on the upside, but not a big 1,000-point rally in banks. And today it's continued. Banks are still up today, 500 points, Nifty about 200 points roughly. So it shows how strong the buyers have been in the last couple of days. So, it's very simple. Try to understand this. In the last, on Monday, we got a good 245 points rally. Today also, we got a good 184 points rally. If you look at the RSI of Nifty, it's broken 60 now. This is a very important reading. Whenever RSI breaks 60 on any chart or any stock or any index, that shows how the bulls are starting to dominate. If the RSI is around 50, that shows 55 to 45, you can say 60 to 40, that shows a good sideways range. You can see this entire pain that we have been for the last 2 months. RSI was holding its 40 to 60 mark, which shows how sideways the markets were. And today, finally, we are around a good, I would say, 2 to 3 months high on the RSI. That's a very strong reading, and we are breaching 60. That shows, as I said, reinstates how strong the bulls are in the market. Same is the case with Bank Nifty. Let me see what's the RSI of Bank Nifty. We are around 58. So in the next couple of days, I will not be surprised if the RSI of Bank Nifty also starts to go above 60. Today, I told you, let me talk about today what happened on Telegram. By the way, today the COVID cases have come and they are currently at 2.68 lakh, which is good, which is very good. Again, the pain of COVID is there, and it is going to be there for some time. It's going to take some time for the cases to plateau out. But considering we were at 4 lakh a couple of weeks back, we have come to 2.5 lakh. I think that's a good win for the country. So hats off to everyone involved in fighting this heinous disease or pandemic. So COVID cases are coming down. It's really come down. Today, one very interesting thing is the FIIs have again started to be net buyers, and DIIs have also bought it today. So if you all have been reading the data, if you all have been reading the cash data, you have seen how the FIIs, they were net sellers in the market. That's why you are getting so much selling pressure in the last few days. No matter how much of a rally we got them sold into. Finally, I think even yesterday and even today probably, FIs have turned net buyers. That's a very interesting thing, which means that, as I said, the momentum is shifting toward the buying side. Another very important thing in the data now is, if you remember, the last couple of days, FIIs were short on the index. And today, they have went long on the index. That's a very drastic change that I see on the data, which is a very good signal. Today, they have added 30,000 index futures. I think that's a very good number. Also, the calls have been added by them in a very terribly big way. So this figure was around 80,000 a couple of days back. It's currently at 1.6 lakh, around a 40,000 call increase by the FIIs. That shows that FIIs want to go with the momentum, which is sideways to bullish now. They want to be a buy on dip scenario. Yes, they have also added some puts, and they have also reduced some stock features. I'll come to that in a little bit. That's why I'm saying again and again, it's a sideways to bullish market. That's the reason why I'm saying that. So let me talk about that in a little bit. So I've already told you about Mahindra, more actually about Auto. I gave you this very simple hint today. Hopefully people have benefited out of this hint. I said Auto appears to be an attractive bet. Unlock India being priced in. Mahindra current market price 784 was quite straightforward. We touched the intraday high of 800. Even though it was 4% up at that point of time, we touched 800. People made money on that. And I'm still bullish on Auto for the short to medium term. I'm still bullish on Auto. Yes, Tata Motors results have been below estimates. They were expecting profits. But yes, the revenue growth has come 40%. And due to the one-off write-off in JLR, there has been a loss. But it's a better loss as compared to the last year, which we'll come to later again. So another thing I said was, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our Telegram channel, it's completely free. You can go to Telegram, search TFA Investments, and you can always come to our Telegram page. Let's join, increase the community, and help as many people as we can. So today also I've been after you for the last 1-2 days to get into PSU banks. Today, these guys have fallen down. but I don't want you to panic. Remember, money is going to be made if you sit patiently in a good investment idea. We have proved that in the last couple of weeks when markets were around 30,000. We gave you so many investment ideas, including PVR, to everyone's disbelief. And they were the guys who are giving you good 20-25% returns even now. So as I said that time, when markets are fearful, you have to become greedy. So, we saw some good profit booking in the PSU banks. It's very simple. The Canara Bank results came out, which was basically, it was a good profit, but the asset quality has weakened. The NPAs have increased. So people obviously, whenever a good result comes out or whenever numbers come out, good or bad, people book profit. So whenever, if you've seen a good rally in the market, good example will be Vinati Organics, and any good company which has rallied a lot, whenever the results come out, people book profits. So I don't think we need to worry. And as I said, we are not going to buy PSU banks everything right now. It was quite clear from that voice note I sent earlier on Sunday or Monday, whatever it was, Monday. So I made it very, very clear that try to do a phased investment. And if PSU banks fall 5%, 10%, keep on adding. I believe these guys can be the next metals. Let's see if I'm wrong or right. If I'm wrong, we take our stops. That's how we have our stops in mind. But hopefully, will not disappoint. So going forward, these were the two things that I talked about today. I've been after you for quite some time. Himalay's been after you for quite some time. The API chemical sector is blasting. You need to get some share of it. Trust me, guys. Now it's again rallied up. If you get a dip into it, get your shoes into this sector. I think these guys are going to blast. They have tons of room available. If you know me, you know how much I have been into GMM Fodler. Even Himalaya gave you a trade when it was at 4,000, and today it touched almost 5,000. So you saw a good 25% return in just a week. So these are the returns that we're talking about of this API chemical sector. I've given you the names: Naveen Fluorine, Deepak Nitrite, Galaxy Surf. The names are with you. You have to try to get them. PI Industries, Himalaya has given you that trade. Hopefully you're holding that. Also, we have Vinati Organics. You have to try to come into the sector, and advice: do not brush aside. Sorry. So with that being said, let's move on to the market. The data, I've talked about that as well. Let's move on to the market. So you have to try to understand what's happened today. After a big move that we saw on Monday, today was a good sideways day. It's expected more sideways in Bank Nifty. Nifty showed some kind of positive momentum more than sideways. So let me give you a very simple idea. Since we are sustaining above these levels, as I said, we are turning buys into dip. And you have to understand, we have made a very, very small range today. This always happens when the market, as I said, run up a lot. Now you have to understand something very, very important I'm going to share with you. Try to understand, try to keep it in your minds. See, what's happening is we have given a good range. The range is between 15,140 till 15,040. It's a good 100-point range that Nifty has formed. So if Nifty wants to blast tomorrow as well, I'm not saying it will, or I'm not saying it can't. We don't know what's going to happen. We read the charts. Whenever we understand something, we trade that, right? We never try to forecast. We never try to form unrealistic analysis. Whatever happens on the chart, we try to forecast. We try to put it in our with the money and try to make some money on that. So tomorrow, it's very important where you open. What I mean by that is, let's say this is the range, right? Let's say you open in the middle of the range. In that case, observe what happens in the market in the first 1 hour. It's very important. Why 1 hour? Forget about that, because I believe 1 hour is enough time for the bulls, if they are still strong, to get the market where it needs to be. So if, let's say, you open in the middle and you get a good 15-minute, 10-minute closing above this range, closing is important. I would say it's another reason to go bullish in the market. We can get some good money on the upside. Very simple. I've just explained it. Every person who was a seller, his SL will be triggered and the markets will move higher, because even they will cover their positions and even buyers will buy. So double whammy, markets will boom higher. But it's important because tomorrow is Wednesday. Try to understand this. One day before expiries, markets generally are sideways. And considering the amount of rally that we've got in the last couple of days, it's very probable that tomorrow is going to be a sideways day. So for that to prove itself, you will know in the very first 1 hour. Repeating myself, if you open in the middle of the range, if let's say in the first 1 hour you break down, you could be a scalper. Again, I'm not saying don't go aggressive short, holding same week expiry puts and going for unrealistic targets. I don't want you to do that because we have broken above, and I would say 14,880, 14,950, they do become very important supports. And if for some reason I get the markets there, I will try to buy that market. One very important update which I don't want to forget, please try to understand we are now about 7 to 8 days into the monthly expiry, which means that when you enter a position, number one, don't enter weekly expiry, go into the monthly expiry. If you're entering into stock positions for options, I would recommend either you buy futures or you buy the next month options. Because let's say you were bullish today and the markets turned out to be sideways, or the markets found some profit booking, you will be stuck and there will be no time ahead of you. You will decay really fast. I don't want that to happen. I hope that point is very, very clear. And right now, things are cheap because the VIX is down, but it's going to decay very, very, very fast. Try to understand that. So if you go to the next month options, they will, maybe some people like it, but a lot of you who don't have a lot of capital might not find them convenient. Very simple, because you're too far away, things are expensive, and the spread between bid and ask is also a lot. So the best idea would be either to go with equity or go with futures if you have that capital. That's an advice I can give you. Rest, you know what to do. Another thing is, today you can see that the VIX is around 19.3. I think even it came around 18.8, 18.5 during the day. Basically, that shows that people are not fearing a lot. There's not panic in the market, which also suggests premiums will be cheap in the options, which also suggests that markets can be sideways. Try to understand that. So this is suggesting some kind of sideways market. So it is Wednesday. Let's see how it goes. So to conclude, if in the first 1 hour you open in the range and you break out, you can be a buyer. At the same time, if you open in the range and if you go down, you can scalp on the short side, but don't hold any shorts overnight. That's my advice, because maybe again then we get a gap up and things again get back into action. I think right now the biggest enemy of the world is inflation. We all have seen that, how the inflation has risen in America, even in India, WPI around 10%. I think the biggest enemy is inflation right now. At the same time, the COVID is going to be there. And the automotive sector today, Tata Motors said that, the quarter 1 is going to be subdued in India. They said that UK and US, they are seeing good surge in the demands. But in India, because of the COVID disruption, the lockdowns, you could see some impact of the demand. So they are expecting things to be very flourishing, improving in the second quarter. So let's see about that. Keep that in mind when you enter into auto stocks. So another important thing is, let's say you open in the range, but you break out after, let's say, 3 hours, 4 hours in the market. I'm not interested to buy that. I'll be very honest, because it's expiry coming in, and it's more often than not, if you're not breaking out in the first 1 hour, it's going to be a fake move mostly. So again, I want to be disciplined. The second thing that could happen is you open a gap up. If you open a gap up, observe the first 5 minutes, observe 10 minutes. If you're sustaining the highs, I think we are again ready for the movement on the upside. That's an idea I could give you. But again, it's very, very important. If you open a big gap up, don't plan aggressively. Then I think it will be a sideways day, or you could see some profit booking happening from the people who have taken longs from lower levels. So if you get a very, very big gap up, don't aggressively buy. Try to book profits. Expiry is coming. It'll be a sideways day. You can also see profit booking or gap filling happening in the markets. And if a market open gap down, some people who went long, they will get stuck. Some kind of selling can come in. But again, I would be a person who will not short the market, but I want to be a person who finds a dip, and maybe around 14,950, 15,000, I want to again buy the market. I hope my view is quite clear and what I need to be. So first 1 hour tomorrow becomes very, very important. Nifty will be in focus. Again, Nifty Bank, similar scenarios. You've run up quite a lot, given a quite tight range, right? The range is basically from 34,150 levels to 33,750 levels. It's a good 300-400 point range that I'm seeing in the market. Again, it's important where you open. If you're opening in the flattish zone in between the range, observe first 1 hour. If the first 1 hour you get a breakout on either side, you can trade that breakout, but be a buyer on dip. That's my advice to you. If the first 1 hour does not give you any breakout, then try to understand and expect it's going to be a sideways day. And then I will suggest you a big move can again come on Thursday, which is our weekly expiry. So I will plan aggressively then only on Thursday. Simply how markets move. Don't always please don't chase the markets. Don't have this feeling in your mind that markets run up a lot, I've missed everything. You always get second chances. If you're not getting a chance right now, be stock specific, and we are giving you names, and try to identify them for yourselves, because they are giving great returns. Auto sector, GMM Fodler, beautiful returns. DMart, PI Industries, Jubilant Food, names have been given to you and they are soaring high. So don't be pessimistic and don't chase the markets just because you missed it. Be optimistic, and if things have run up too far away from you, let them come back to you and get it. Be patient. It's all about waiting, and money is made by waiting and not trading. Remember that. So again, if tomorrow you open on the higher gap up side and the first 15 minutes, 30 minutes breaks out, be a buyer in the market. Quantity should be planned according to you. You can again start to see a trending market. So the breaking of range tomorrow is very, very important. Global markets, dollar has cooled off. Dollar is cooling off. The dollar index is cooling off, which is helping the Indian markets, right? And the lower it keeps on going, the higher the Indian markets keep on moving up. The Brent crude has, I would say, has been booming up. I think it's because of the Palestine and Israel issue. I think it's because of that, which is helping Reliance inch newer highs. You touched 2000 on Reliance today, and I would say that's one reason why Brent has been almost at a good 2-month high. But let's see how things go up. If the Brent starts to fall down again, you will again start to see pressure in Reliance, and you will start to see pressure in the oil and gas sector in general. Why I'm saying oil and gas is because you can compare very, very simply. The Brent's been moving up a lot, and that's the reason why your oil and gas sector has been giving you really, really great returns. If you see the oil and gas sector, NTPC 115, ONGC, you know where these guys are and how Brent is helping them achieve higher numbers. So keep the Brent in mind if you're trading in the oil and gas sector. Going forward, a couple of things I want to talk about. Firstly would be, this is about the index. I hope my view about the index is clear. Let me know in the comments what your view is, what your plan is. If you're enjoying this video till this point, hit on the like button. That would mean a lot to me. So I want to talk about the index, the stocks, the sectors, sorry. Basically because we need to understand what sectors are ready to give a good move. And as I said, if you don't understand the index, go with the stocks, go with the sectors, because it's all about the index management. If you see the last 2 to 3 months, Nifty hasn't moved, but there are sectors that have moved a lot, and there are sectors which have lagged a lot. They have been laggards. So try to be in the sectors that are expanding, helping you achieve higher numbers. So if I open the Nifty 50, the playlist, that the watch list that I have, not playlist, I think auto sector is really doing good. I mean, we gave you names of Bajaj Auto from 3600 levels. It touched 4000. We booked profit in that. It's gone up again. I think this sector is doing very, very well. Plan purchases accordingly. There's so many names: TVS Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra. I mean, let's analyze one by one. Maruti, the biggest, the name that everyone wants to be in. I think Maruti has been consolidating for quite some time. If the sector starts to push higher, even Maruti should start to move higher. Keep a track on Maruti, but Mahindra is the one I'm interested in. It's really, really broken out this trend line. I mean, it's a great pattern. You can see how these patterns work. You got a good double top on the top, which reversed the trend to sideways, and now you got a good double bottom. So if you're opening, so again, it's very important where you open. Try to understand that's very, very important. Let's say tomorrow, if you open gap down for some odd reason, something happens in America, something happens overnight, you open gap down, a small gap down on the auto index, which means gap down on the stocks as well. Then this will turn to be a sideways day for auto. Try to understand that. That's why I'm saying, if you are in an option trade, you will get decayed very, very fast. So plan accordingly. If you don't want a sideways day, I would say you have to open gap up or flattish opening. And it's also very important. Remember my first 1 hour volatility video I uploaded. If you haven't seen that, that's my last one or last 1 or 2 videos. See that. So tomorrow, let's say you open flat and you get a good momentum, 2-3% in the first couple of 1 hour, half an hour, then book profits. If you're in a short-term trade, book profits. Be simple about it, because I believe then we again will get a dip, and then we can again try to buy that dip. So that's very important if you are an options player. Let's say tomorrow the move does not happen in the first 1 hour, it can happen later. It can also be possible that you get a good gap up. I'm personally expecting in the auto index, you get a gap up tomorrow because of an extremely strong Marubozu candle that I'm seeing on the charts right now. So if you get a gap up, I will wait for the first 30, 40 minutes. If I'm getting good profits, I am getting out. As simple as that. If I get a gap down, it's a sideways day, I am getting out. So I hope this point is clear, but this is for my options trade. You all know what options trade I am in. I'm going to get out of that, so plan accordingly. If you are in equity, these are times you need to keep on adding. If you get dips into Mahindra, I think you should add Mahindra. The sector is very hot. Tata Motors will be in focus, results today. So generally after results, the companies see profit booking. But if the day high is broken, you can start to see markets going towards 350 as well. So keep a track on Tata Motors. Bajaj Auto, again, it has just blasted this consolidation. It is strong, heading towards 4200, 4300. Keep in watch. Eicher Motor, another one, just outstanding. These guys are doing so well. I think we should try to get into them. Again, if you see the structure that's happening. On the top, we got a good double top, reverse the trend. Now we got a good double bottom, reverse. So we're just at the bottom. It does not mean we'll rally in a V-shaped recovery. You might get dips, but try to buy those dips if you are trading equity. I think it's very important. One name I'm interested in is Hero MotoCorp. I don't know why it's not rambling up, but try to have an alert on your screen at 3,000 numbers. Above 3,000, this stock will run up. It will surge. It will go mad, but let 3,000 break first. I think below 3,000, do not try to enter. But once 3,000 is broken, I think you all should get interested. Again, Mothers and Sumi, it's already gone up a lot. Let this consolidation break, and then we can decide. So auto is one sector I'm interested. Even TVS Motors is one company I'm really interested in. Some observation I forgot about Bank Nifty. See, Bank Nifty today has made a range, right? So it applies to Nifty as well. It's got a good doji candle today. So tomorrow, if markets are remaining in this range, it is a sideways day. Until the doji does not break, do not plan any aggressive trade. That's my humble request to each and every one of you. A couple of other sectors before I wind up the video. I have a couple of other sectors lined up. I think infrastructure is doing very well. If you see the Nifty infra chart, you can see that you are sustaining at the highs. And if this high is broken, it's literally marking a good breakout of a good, I would say, 1.5 month range of Nifty infra. Obviously, Nifty infra is booming up because of Reliance. You also have two more big guys in Nifty infra. So keep a track on them, Larsen and Tubro. This is a good part of Nifty infra. So not right now, not tomorrow, but the moment 1440 is knocked off in Larsen and Tubro, you should become alert, because then you can move towards 15 and 1520 levels also. Another name is Ultratech. I think Ultratech, Ambuja Cement, these guys are getting ready once more. And you are again forming a double bottom kind of pattern. You are consolidating. So keep a track on Ultratech Cement, because if Nifty infra wants to go up, Reliance, Ultratech, Airtel, L&T, these guys have to perform for the index to come up. So keep a track on the index. Auto I've already talked about, right? Consumption is another. Commodities is something also which looks very interesting. It's at a resistance. So please go to Nifty Commodities. Let's see which companies are there. So obviously Nifty Commodities, we have Reliance. It's booming up like anything. We all know that. So for Reliance, 2000 is a good make or break level. If 2000 breaks, then we can see further rally in Nifty Commodities and Nifty Energy and Nifty Infra. So keep a track on that. You all know Ultratech Cement. So you can see how names are overlapping. So these overlapping names like Ultratech Cement, Reliance, they will decide what the markets need to do in these indices. Tata Steel, obviously the metal sectors are doing very well. So, and obviously, so basically the commodity sector is something, keep a track on. Very simple. If it breaks, if you break these heights, an all-time high of the Nifty Commodities, you already know the big boom that we're in the commodity sector. Keep a track on that. You might want to trade that if the markets are trending tomorrow, even if they are sideways. Stock specific action is there. So it could be in the commodity sector. Who knows? So commodities are dominated by oil and energy. You can see Reliance, you can see ONGC, Adani Green, and denoted by metals, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, Hindalco, NTPC, Oil Energy, Vedanta, etc. So these two sectors will denote what happens in Nifty Commodities. I even think Nifty consumption looks very good. This is because of the rally that we have seen in Berger Paints, Asian Paints, also the auto names. Consumption is denoting these guys, which is Asian Paints, ran up a lot. So Berger Paints, Asian Paints look very good for the coming future. Maruti is looking good. Mahindra, Titan, Nestle, Bajaj Auto, Avenue Supermarts, great breakout today, by the way. I think Avenue has done a good job today. Himalay's already got you in the trade a couple of days back. It's broken out today for big consolidation. So keep a track on this sector, can help you seal some gains. That's about it for now. And I hope my view is clear. I hope the idea of it is clear. If you have any doubts, mention them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer as many comments as possible. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's my responsibility to do as many videos as possible. A lot of people request me to be active on YouTube every single day. I'll try to do that now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you.